the children, for the folks, for Grandma, and for Grandpa. Going now at the ridiculous price of only $1 a bottle. Who'll be the first one? Here you are, sir. Step right up.
That's salesmanship. That man was a well-known character 30 years ago. He was an inspiration for everyone, and he should be an inspiration for you and me and all of us who are out there selling today or have anything to do, whatever, with sales. That man knew his sales psychology from the word go. He knew how to keep a crowd interested, knew when he had enough people in his audience who had a dollar in their pockets, and he knew when to close the deal. But above all, he had the right mental attitude. Look at that face. His very enthusiasm caused people to buy. And what did they buy? They usually bought a laxative for $1 a bottle that was of no more benefit than 2 bits worth of good old castor oil. He sold a product without merit, but still he sold it. Today, our products have merit. We don't have to sell 2 bits worth for $1, and we don't bellow our lungs out to sell it. But that mental attitude is the same old story. You've seen this fella, haven't you? Of course you have. He can be found in every organization, a victim of rotten mental attitude. His written record tells the story. Look at that, way down, not enough to pay his salary. As usual, the boss calls him in. The boy's sick. He's just run down. He's not clicking. He's tired all the time. You're getting a rotten deal. Business is terrible. So what? The same old outcome. He ends up with the company doctor. Doc looks him over and pronounces him physically sound. This man needs our old friend the Barker. Where is he?
All right, folks. Come up a little closer. Come up a little closer. Let's look this man over and see what we have here. Why, this man is dead from his neck up. Yes, a pure case of mentalitis. Mentalitis. Oh, listen, buddy, I was born 30 years too soon. In my day, they called me a Barker. In this day, I would be a salesman. And with your advantages, what a salesman I could be. But not with your attitude. You're suffering from lack of confidence. You're afraid of your own ability. You're afraid you won't make your quota. You forget that as long as you hesitate, you'll never make a sale.
Say, you can't make any sales as long as...
This guy has it all figured out. He's got the what's the use attitude. Those people said no when he was there before. They're not even going to get a chance to say yes because he's afraid they'll say no again.
Yeah, but the boss told me that I...
Just as I thought. Boss phobia. You're afraid of the boss. Why? There can be only one reason. You've let the boss down. You can't face him. You're afraid of yourself. And nothing will ruin a man quicker than that. Do you remember this?
Oh, heck. Jones is a better salesman than I am. That's all there is to it. He can talk longer and louder than I can. He's just a natural salesman. I know darn well I can't make this sale.
Pessimism. Look at this.
You can't sell him, Joe. I can't sell any of my prospects either. Business is rotten.
Of course he can't sell his prospects. It's a wonder he has any.
How in the world the boss ever found such a lousy chunk of the United States to dump in my lap, I'll never understand. My buyers all want to buy the competitor's product.
Sure they do. They always want the competitor's product. Pessimistic. Pessimistic. What a life to lead. Laugh once in a while. Laugh, boy, laugh. See a joke once in a while. This guy has to be very careful not to see anything funny in anything. And boy, how he makes excuses for not working. It's too hot or too cold, too wet or too dry, it's election year or it isn't. Always on the lookout for a good excuse. He's afflicted with mentalitis, folks. He believes his own excuses. If he'd work as hard trying to convince himself that business was And you can cover up a lot of shortcomings in slipshod work by losing your temper. Get mad at the prospect, the boss, business, anything. Get mad. Or judgment. And here we have an occupation for you, dreaming. The grass is always greener in the other man's pasture. The only thing he plans in advance is trouble. He's plenty good at that. This guy can smell it and start whining weeks in advance. Egotism. Just ask me.
Now, wait a minute. You said something about baseball then. You know, I get around a lot, and I see a lot of baseball games in my travels. I mean big league games. And I'm telling you, that guy this afternoon, he had everything on the ball. He's the best guy I ever saw on the mound in my life. Say, didn't you say something about boxing a while ago? Oh, well, you know, I used to do a little boxing myself. Yeah, one time the circus came to town, and they wanted a guy to go in there and take on this regular professional boxer. Well, he didn't think I had anything, see, but boy, did I lay him low. Boy, I'm telling you, I pulled back one up from the cellar, see. I laid this baby right down where he couldn't say papa or uncle or anything.
Extravagance. You're guilty of pouring your money down a rat hole. You forget that it takes 100 pennies to make a dollar. Foolish buying gives you nothing to show for your dollar spent.
Why, sure, Bill took care of that. Why, I thought he said he paid it last month. But I'll ask him. And I'm awfully sorry, but I haven't any money here right now.
You tell him he's got to pay up his bills or we'll have to discontinue his credit. No, he just can't abuse his credit this way. He keeps telling us he'll come in, but his word ain't good anymore.
And no enthusiasm.
Oh, boy, what a day. Nothing new, nothing exciting. Always the same old stuff. I'm tired of it. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. Same old ballyhoo from the office. Sales stuff, yeah. Tell us how to do it. Now, why should I take the trouble to learn anything about my job? Not that I could tell the guy that wrote that plenty. Huh. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Hot shot sales contest. Big contest, big selling plans. Alone.
Dishonesty. He steals time. He cheats in minutes and hours. He passes the buck. And when he does work, he misrepresents his company and himself to his prospects. No wonder they lose confidence in him. To sell, he makes claims for his company that no company could fulfill. And then when he returns to the office, he argues that the company won't back him up, that he could sell if the company could only produce. He hollers for a lower selling price. He forgets that any man can sell a $100 bill for a 10 spot. Disloyalty. Look at this.
Always talking and lecturing. Well, he's not so good himself. He wouldn't be so hot either on this job I got.
Besides, there are lots of better jobs. Why should I work like the devil on this one? Why don't I go out and get a better job? A real job where I'm appreciated. This man listens to other squawkers and encourages and agrees with them instead of trying to set them right. Why, in time of war, they take traitors like those out and hang them. They can't take any chances. In business, they're called bellyachers, and they continue to exist. Think of it. They continue to exist.
No, you can't do this.
No, I can't, but you did. You did it to yourself.
But what can I do?
Wake up, old boy. Shake yourself. Come out of your trance. Say, I will for a change.
But I can't do anything. There isn't anything. It isn't right.
Hey! Hey!
change? What got change?
Oh, Doc, thanks, boy.
Oh, boy.
This prospect said no to me last time, but I'll land him. He can't say no forever.
And now he's glad to see the boss. He knows he's doing well, and he's darn glad to see that the boss knows it, too. He gets results now and all the time because he believes in his company, his boss, his product, and himself.
Howdy, Joe.
Oh, hello there.
Glad to see you out, boy. I'm going to sell this fellow this time. You see if I don't. I think there's some business here for you, too.
Think so?
I do. You stay right in there and fight him. You'll get it. I know you will.
Well, I hope so.
Well, you will.
He welcomes criticism and complaints about his work or service because such things teach him how to improve himself. A complaint quickly and cheerfully adjusted makes a better friend for himself and the company. And he keeps his temper at all times. He knows that flying off the handle takes a lot of energy and won't do any good.
Well, that's all right, Mr. Werder. I'll take care of that right away. You bet I will. Well, thanks for calling.
He plans his work and works his plan on schedule. He solves problems as they come to him.
I believe you presented the wrong plan to Johnson yesterday. You know, companies like that are usually interested in the annual setup.
He admits cheerfully that there are a lot of things he knows nothing about and is always ready to be taught. He listens to others about a subject, asks questions carefully. The answers help him form his own opinions.
Well, if he says that Johnston wants the other plan, they probably do. That boss of mine seldom, if ever, misses.
After all, the boss is paid for being right, and he's held responsible for his decisions. He wouldn't be the boss if he weren't. And he knows that the best salesmen are always good listeners. He is aware that 5 minutes listening is often better than 1 hour's oration. That's the way he learns more about human nature. He knows he has plenty of prospects, and he makes it his job to keep them at his fingertips all the time.
Boy, a fellow really has a future in this organization. There's plenty of opportunity. Others have made good, so can I. If I don't, it's no one's fault but my own.
He knows that a high percentage of people depend on charity at 65 years of age. Now is the time to save, not next week or later. Saving money is one of the easiest things to postpone. He teaches others to be thrifty and is careful with them about money matters. Good money habits should be taught youngsters at an early age. He teaches his children these habits and sets a good example for them. His pep is catching. Everyone is enthusiastic when he's around. He is careful about his speech and talks fluently and distinctly. He makes himself interesting, but not boring. He shuns no one. Anyone might be his next prospect. He studies constantly and is ever alert for means of self-improvement. He learns all he can about how to do his job better. It means money and better living for himself and his family. He reports facts fully and accurately. He knows they will come out in the wash anyway, and it looks much better to have a complete, honest record. He works full time every day. And what is more important, he is honest with himself about right and wrong. He knows that the easiest person to fool is sometimes himself. This man is loyal to his job, his company, and his family. This man looks forward to a good future. He is always working for a better job and is confident that when he deserves it, he will get it. Folks, here is a man.
A man who can lick the world because he is rid of all the rubbish that was retarding his progress. Now, folks, we couldn't expect any one man to have that much wrong with him. This case is exaggerated, of course. But I believe all of us can recognize some of the symptoms of this disease in ourselves. That's the story. A very true story that was conceived and told for the first time by a man who has been most successful in combating this terrible malady really a successful businessman. His position is with the Des Moines Register and Tribune, those great Iowa newspapers. He is manager of agencies and is responsible for circulation records being broken by nearly 2,500 junior and adult salesmen. All his life, he's been interested in why some human beings succeed and others fail. The old circus barker of 30 years ago was his first inspiration, and to him, the barker has been an inspiration ever since. No man can tell the story of mentalitis like Mac. Let's cut in on one of his regular meetings. Here's R.M. McIntyre of Des Moines, Iowa.
And now perhaps you are all asking yourselves questions. I hope you are. Assuming we do have some traces of mentalitis, what can we do about it? Shall we see a doctor? Does it mean an operation? The answer is no. Medicine won't help. An operation won't do any good. The disease goes far deeper than that. But as our old friend the barker demonstrated, there is a remedy, a tonic that will not only cure this dread disease, but will help to prevent its attacks. You yourselves must be the doctor. And you alone can administer this tonic and see that it helps you. First of all, you must be honest with yourselves. You must be able to recognize and willing to admit the symptoms of this terrible malady.
Well, Mr. McIntyre, is there anything else I can do for you and the patients? Always willing to help, you know, always willing to help.
Well, yes, there is. Why don't you tell our fellow human beings about that cure you used?
Oh, that? Well, it's very simple, and it works every time. And for the same reason that stuff I used to peddle at the circus worked. Because the people who bought it had faith in it. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Folks, right this way, right this way. Come up a little closer now, come up a little closer. I have here in my hand a bottle of that marvelous tonic, a complete cure, a sure cure, the only cure for the dread disease called mentalitis. Get results. You will notice that it is prescribed by the famous Dr. McIntyre, and that the patient should take at least 2 large glasses full before and after each meal, or any other time of day he feels the urge. The contents are confidence, optimism, enthusiasm, thrift, good judgment, faith, loyalty, open-mindedness, and honesty. Absolutely guaranteed to be habit-forming. If this prescription is followed faithfully, you will form the habit of smiling, of being happy, and being successful. Step right up, folks. Get 'em while I ask the wonderful get results. Tonic, only $10 a bottle, and who'll be the first month? Mike, it's a pipe. It's going to be a gold mine.
Wait a minute. None of that, old fella. No double-crossing me now. You better get along and take your well-earned place in history. It would have been a gold mine, folks. This tonic is worth $10,000 a bottle to the man who has mentalitis. Figure it out over a period of years. After all, the person who is getting results, regardless of what his work or position in life may be, is the happiest and the most successful. A tonic which will do that for a man is priceless. And that's the nice part about it. This tonic is absolutely free. Its supply is unlimited. You can get it at any water fountain. It's the faith you have in it that does the job. In fact, you don't even need the water. Just set this empty bottle on your desk and think about it every day. It will do you a lot of good. It will give you faith in yourself, your job, and your boss. Recognize the symptoms, human beings, and form the habit of getting results.